Hi, it's me. I'm Shar, and today I'll be helping you find what graphics tablet might be best for you. I've gotten this question so many times over the span of a decade at this point, and I felt like maybe making a video about it would help other people who aren't super sure what to get. There are a lot more options now than there were back then, and if you're new to digital art, it might feel a bit overwhelming. If you're new to this channel, hi. My name is Shar. I am a freelance animator and illustrator, and formerly a full-time web developer. I've been drawing digitally since I was around 7. I'm in my mid-20s now, so I feel like I've been through a good handful of graphics tablets since then, at least enough to give a bit of advice. On to the main topic, I'll be covering 3 types of graphics tablet in this video: the pen tablet, the pen display, and the standalone tablet. We'll go through what each is, the features, price, things to check before buying, etc. And I'll be explaining a little flowchart I ended up making while thinking about this topic. You can skip to that at the end if you're looking for a too long didn't watch answer. No hard feelings. I don't know how long this video is gonna be. I yap a lot. Because I wanted to do a little extra research on the current state and features of these kinds of tablets, I emailed XP Pen, a tablet brand I've been partnered with and been using for the past 5 years or so, if they could help send a few my way to test and film. And they agreed, which was really cool. I would say they're a pretty good standard for modern-day graphics tablets. They offer a solid balance of functionality and price, so I'll link the models they recommended from this video in the description if you're interested. If you're watching this July 2025, they have a big Prime Day sale ongoing, and you can also use the code SHAR5 for 5% off. Purchasing through my affiliate links down below also helps me if you do end up buying anything. Anyway, without further ado, let's start with pen tablets. To put it simply, it's a mouse, but you use a pen instead. Some people even use it for stuff outside of digital art, like teaching and gaming. This is also the type of tablet I have the most experience with, since I used them for more or less 15 years? That's a whole child. They're a super solid way to get into digital art because of how affordable and portable they are, but they're definitely a lot less popular than tablets with displays. Pen tablets are pads with an active area that maps to your screen. You really do use them like you would a mouse. You don't look at it, you look at your screen and just move the cursor the way you want with your hand. These got popular in the 80s and are still decently popular now. Older tablets, like the Genius Mouse Pen, shout out to my second ever tablet, were pretty bulky, but now we have the advantage of really slim and light tablets. Almost all pen tablets I know nowadays are incredibly portable. For this example, I'm showing you an XP Pen Deco 640. Super compact and has shortcut buttons you can program to do certain tasks and macros, like opening an app or pressing a series of keys. It connects via USB-A, but it also comes with a handy little USB-C adapter in case you need to plug it into a different computer orifice. The only issue I imagine someone might encounter with a pen tablet, apart from the lack of screen, is I guess just getting used to it. Especially if you're coming from traditional art where you can see the stroke right out of the pen, having to orient yourself to look at the screen and not your hand can be a little challenging at first, but it's very, very learnable. If you can use a mouse, if you can use a laptop touchpad, you can probably use a pen tablet. Pen tablets are super versatile nowadays, especially since devices usually recognize them as a mouse. Out of curiosity, I even plugged my Deco 640 into a standalone tablet and it worked. So regardless if you have a PC or a laptop or a tablet, it'll most likely work for whatever device you have as long as it can support a mouse. That being said, it's important that the pen tablet you get has a good driver and is sized in a way that's comfortable for your monitor. Having a tablet with a 16:9 aspect ratio on a widescreen monitor can make things feel kind of, well, wide, but if you have a good driver, you can comfortably resize and map the drawing area to any part of your screen. This is important for people with more than one monitor also, since if your driver doesn't work well, it could easily just map your tablet to your entire span of monitors, which you typically don't want, or do want. I don't know how you use your computer. You can use it any way you like. Pen tablets are very affordable in the grand scheme of digital art, A decent one is often priced around 40 US dollars or around 2,000 pesos where I live. That is to say, this is the most affordable entry into digital art, so if your tablet budget is super tight but you already have a computer, this is your best bet. If you've noticed, I'm very partial to pen tablets, even though I don't use them anymore, because as a broke teen, it was such a crucial tool for me when I was learning digital art. There was one time I was always bringing my bulky tablet to school for extracurricular work, and on my 18th birthday, my friends gifted me a Wacom one. It was also a pen tablet, but significantly lighter, and I was so happy I used it until it broke a couple years later. And I still have it stashed away somewhere at home for sentimental value. Next up is pen displays. These are arguably the most popular out of the three types of graphics tablets. They're also aptly called screen tablets, since it's literally writing on a digital screen. I've been using display tablets for 5 years now, notably from XP Pen and Huion, since Wacom prices are a bit up there. Pen displays are essentially monitors you can use a stylus on. So if you don't have a computer monitor, for some reason, these are actually possible alternatives. They often come with shortcut tools, either built into the monitor, often on the left-hand side, or as a separate shortcut controller. For animation and illustration, I've personally been using the XP Pen Artist Pro 16 Gen 2 for around a year now. It's pretty light and portable in the sense that it's just a USB-C plug-and-play. It also has a Bluetooth shortcut controller, which I use with my other shortcut controller. And at this point, I think I just have a weird-looking keyboard on the left-hand side of my desk. Most 10 to 16-inch pen displays are like this. They're quite light, easy to integrate into any work setup, and plug-and-play. The pen display I got sent is a lot bigger than this one. It's the XP Pen Artist Pro 24 Gen 2, so essentially the bigger version of what I have now. It comes with their two standalone X3 Pro styluses, the Smart Chip and Slim, that offer 16K levels of pen pressure, which basically means it's pretty precise with its strokes. Both work fine, you just choose the one that feels comfier in your hand. It also comes with the same Bluetooth shortcut tool that you can easily configure with their driver software. I personally like that this product line has anti-glare, so having a lamp nearby doesn't affect the screen, and that this one in particular has multiple base angles, which are both very important features to me. Quality of life. Important note, please take into account that these are pro displays. So similar to other brands that have their own higher-end tablet lines, their higher quality usually means a higher price point. There's almost always a regular, non-pro line that still does the job but is less crazy on the budget. Another small note, it's not very portable. Oh my god, it's so heavy. Bigger pen displays, often at 20 to 24 inches, are definitely a primarily home or office tool. I had to clear out an entire separate desk to install it because it didn't fit on my main one, and I am quite little, so it was a bit of a workout carrying it around. It does feel good to draw on though, because it's so big. And I can play games on it, which is always a plus. Pen displays often include cleaning fabric and drawing gloves. Although you can draw on the screen without the gloves, having them on reduces the friction and makes drawing feel smoother. And it also keeps your hand oils from staining the screen. For me, the main difference between getting a tablet with a display as opposed to one without is mostly the feel. I would say I draw and improve my art skills at roughly the same pace, but I do find the feeling of seeing exactly where I'm drawing with my hand to be a lot more intuitive. I remember the first thing I said when I switched from pen tab to pen display back in 2020 was, it feels like I can see the bigger picture all of a sudden. I don't know if that makes sense, but I felt like it was worth mentioning. Pen displays are meant to be used alongside your desktop computer or laptop. Some of them can connect to tablets and phones that offer a USB connection, though I would say that isn't a super common setup. Please do remember to check if you have an extra HDMI or display port before buying a pen display. Unless the display can fully function through USB-C alone, those are very necessary and depend on your computer's motherboard. Bigger display tablets usually use one power cable, one USB connection, and one HDMI or DisplayPort connection. If you only have one of either HDMI or DisplayPort, there are a lot of HDMI to DisplayPort or DisplayPort to HDMI adapters you can find for cheap online. Please measure your workspace before buying a pen display. Although they let you know the diagonal length of the screen, it doesn't usually account for the bezels along the edge, which often pads an extra inch or two to the device. This also doesn't account for the height of the tablet once it's angled, so it can easily cover any monitor behind it if it's angled high enough. If you have a desk that's on the smaller side, say 20 inches deep, might be more comfortable to get a 16-inch pen display if you already have a main monitor. Your keyboard might not even fit if you line them up. I have a pull-out tray on my desk for that reason. If you have a larger desk that can support a big, maybe 24-inch pen display, you might want to consider moving your main monitor to the side, attaching it to a monitor mount, or placing your monitor on a desk riser. Same as with the pen tablet, drivers are important for you to be able to apply the shortcuts you need to your tablet correctly. If your driver has mapping features, which it should, you can also forego having the display as a display and use it as a pen tablet, if you want. If you're feeling a little freaky, I don't know. Either way, driver, good place to configure your tablet and tablet pen. These types of tablets are definitely pricier than the non-screen pen tablet, but the price will depend mostly on the size and features. Smaller display tablets, around the 10 to 16-inch size, usually average at around $250 to $400 USD, while larger display tablets, around the 20 to 24-inch size, average at around $400 to $800 USD. Local Philippine prices are on the screen as well. Wacom is a different story altogether. Their prices are a bit astronomical for my taste, so I wouldn't super recommend it. But if your budget is really flexible, I'm of the opinion that you can do whatever you want with your money. If your wallet is big, follow your heart. Out of the 3 types of graphics tablet, I would say this is the one I have the least experience on. I do own a tablet computer, a Samsung one. I used it during my college senior years for studying and extracurriculars, but I've never used them in a professional digital art aspect. I would doodle with the Notes app, but that would be about it. But I do know that this is a very popular type of graphics tablet nowadays, especially with the large number of artists who work mainly on iPad with Procreate. This is one of the big reasons why I was really excited to test out XP Pen's Magic Drawing Pad. I was excited to figure out how a standalone tablet by a graphics tablet brand would work and how it would feel. So let me fill you in on how that went. First off, it's 100% a tablet computer. It operates on its own UI system on top of an Android OS, and you can do basic tablet functions like search the web, listen to music, watch YouTube, play games, whatever you typically do with a tablet. It has a 13-megapixel rear camera and an 8-megapixel front camera, which is fairly decent for its price range in case you want to take reference photos on the go. It has QHD resolution and the battery lasts pretty long. I use it every now and then and charge it maybe twice a week. Where it becomes really convenient is how focused it is on giving you a better drawing experience as a standalone tablet. For one, the screen is matte and anti-glare. That means even when I draw outside in the sun, and yes, I do touch grass from time to time, I can still see what I'm drawing without much issue. It also has a very pen-to-paper feel, so if you're on the go most of the time, it's a pretty good device to draw on. The X3 Pro pencil that it comes with is thin and sleek and also offers 16K levels of pen pressure, but if you're more comfortable with their heftier line of X3 pens, which comes with XP Pen's other plug-and-play tablets, those work on it fine too. It comes with Ibis Paint and Medibang Paint already pre-installed, but I did want to try animating in Clip Studio Paint with this device, since it's the program I actively use on my PC. And it worked pretty well. The Valentine's Day animation I posted actually had all its frames drawn out using the Magic Drawing Pad. I was out of town most of February for personal matters, so it was really convenient to use and animate on, whether at the cafe, outside, in the car, totally doable. I just synced the file with the Clip Studio Paint on my desktop after to color it in. It also has a PC mode built in, so if you have a separate keyboard you can connect it with, you can write your docs, your spreadsheets, pay your taxes, whatever you want in here too. You can also use the built-in app Space Desk to connect it to your desktop and essentially turn it into a pen display. All you need is a Wi-Fi or LAN connection and the Space Desk driver on your PC. Overall, pretty versatile, very much a device made with digital artists fully in mind. I personally don't have a lot of experience when it comes to choosing the right standalone tablet. There aren't a lot of standalone tablets that are focused on drawing yet, and I'm not really willing to shell out for an iPad. But I'm sure you can find a lot of reviews for those online. If anything, I just highly recommend to check out other people's experiences on the device you want. The market for this kind of tablet just isn't that saturated yet. If you just need a really good tablet for mostly non-creative work, literally any decent tablet, maybe a Samsung, would work just as fine. From my own experience, Samsung S Pens are also pretty good with extra gesture features called Air Actions, and apps like Clip Studio Paint work on them too. The Magic Drawing Pad retails at around $500 USD, which is around the normal price for a tablet computer of this size. My Samsung tablet was a bit more expensive. I got it for around $700 USD, and after a bit of research, I found that iPads can range from anywhere around $350 USD for older but still decent models to around $1,000 for newer ones with better specs. Again, as I said earlier, if your wallet is big, follow your heart. If it isn't, maybe normal pen tablets aren't so bad. What brand should I get is a really common question I get asked. Hard to ask me without bias since I am partnered with XP Pen, so of course I'd say XP Pen. But if there's anything else to add to that, I would just say go with the one that's reputable enough to have a good device and a good driver. I know it can be tempting to go for less reliable tools since they can be a lot cheaper, but based on experience, the mileage you get out of them is a lot less, and the software and drivers that come along with it can be extremely frustrating. If you're saving money, I would say spare yourself the headache, get a Deco 640 or something, and start from there. In the end, all of these tools refine the same skill, regardless of the additional features they might have. They all help you draw digitally. Speaking of drivers, these can make or break your tool. I've used tablets with really bad drivers before, and they can ruin everything. From the mapping, to being able to use pen pressure, to being able to use the tablet at all. Each tablet usually comes with its own driver or software interface for you to configure and use the device. So it's really important that this works, since I've had ones before that wouldn't even install properly on my computer. If you already have a tablet and you're suffering from driver issues, I'd recommend checking out Open Tablet Driver. It's a free open source driver that should be compatible with most tablets, but I personally haven't tried it out as of late since I don't really suffer from driver issues anymore. On the side of comfort and posture, you have to think about your back and your wrist. Pen tablets are definitely better for your work posture since you look straight ahead at your main monitor like you're just using a mouse, but angled pen displays can definitely shrimpify you. Just look at me. This is how I sit. Like Elle from Death Note. Make sure to double check whether the tablet you want can also support the angle you want. And if it can't, make sure to prepare a mount or a surface for your tablet that can help support your posture. I personally like using pen displays that can lay a bit flat, but sometimes I do want to sit up straight and angle it steep. Steep equals wrist hurt, flat equals back hurt. We can't win, artists, so maybe just take a break every 30 minutes to stretch. At least that's free. As a quick recap and to help conclude this video, here's a small chart that I made that can hopefully help you in your graphics tablet hunt. Do you work outside? Maybe get a standalone tablet, or a pen tablet if you're saving money and already have a portable computer. Do you work indoors at a desk most of the time? Then depending on your budget, you could go for a more affordable pen tablet or a fancier pen display. Do you have back pain? Do you care? If not, then a pen display is fine. But if you're worried about turning into a shrimp, then a pen tablet is pretty good. And that concludes my video. If you have any comments or suggestions or maybe some advice you'd like to share that I wasn't able to, please feel free to leave them down below. And me? I would also love to learn more from you. Thank you again to XP Pen for indulging me. I didn't really expect them to agree when I asked if they wanted to partner up for this, so it was nice of them to help me make this video. Again, all their tablets that I showed in the video you can check in the description below. Their Prime Day sale runs until July 17th, but they do offer discounts often, so I think it could be worth checking out. Fun fact, they also provide a couple of free redeem codes for drawing software upon purchase of an XP Pen product, which makes learning digital art a lot more accessible if you're just starting out. And a warm thank you again to my very cool YouTube and Ko-fi supporters. Lasagna tier members are shown on screen right now, and if you'd like to join, feel free to press the join button next to my channel name or visit my Ko-fi page. that should be all. I was supposed to upload this video a lot earlier, like March, but personal issues got in the way of a lot of things. So instead of recent games, I'll just recount to you the games I was playing at that time, which was 1, Pros and Codes. It's a fun and casual cipher game based on books you can get from Project Gutenberg, which is full of classics archived into free ebooks. And at that time, I was also playing Monster Hunter Wilds. This is my Palico chicken, and this is my secret nugget. And I use an insect glaive. Go, my kinsect. Okay, that's all. Bye.